What if I told you that the economic crash you lived through wasn't an accident? What if every major financial collapse across 3 generations followed the same hidden blueprint? A blueprint designed not to destroy the elites but to strengthen them every single time. Across 100 years, 3 major crashes reveal the same recurring pattern that never fails to protect those at the top while wiping out everyone else below them. And today, we're going to expose that pattern in one continuous chain of cause and effect that connects the past to your present. In the 1920s, the world was flooded with easy credit and explosive optimism pushed by banks, newspapers, and political leaders. Ordinary people were encouraged to pour their savings into a stock market that seemed unstoppable. But behind the scenes, insiders quietly cashed out long before the public knew anything was wrong. When the crash of 1929 hit, millions lost their homes, their jobs, and their entire futures. Yet the elites who exited early returned to buy land, factories, and companies for pennies on the dollar. This was the first clear demonstration of the cycle: inflate optimism, pull out early, let the crash reset prices, then buy everything cheap. Fast forward to the early 2000s, and the emotional script repeated itself with the dot-com boom. Tech companies with no profits had billion-dollar valuations fueled purely by hype. When that bubble burst, the system didn't reform, it doubled down with even cheaper money. This cheap money created the housing bubble. As banks pushed risky loans onto millions of people who couldn't afford them, financial institutions turned toxic mortgages into safe investments and sold them around the world. Then came 2008, and the housing market collapsed with devastating force. 10 million Americans lost their homes. Millions more lost jobs and retirement savings. But private equity firms and institutional investors bought entire neighborhoods for a fraction of their former prices. Then the 2020s arrived with the biggest money-printing experiment in modern history. In less than 2 years, more money was created than in the previous 2 decades combined. Markets exploded upward, crypto soared, and housing prices skyrocketed across the globe. People believed they were suddenly rich, but the wealth was artificial and built on temporary liquidity. When inflation surged, central banks reacted with the fastest interest rate hikes in 40 years. Mortgage payments doubled, living costs erupted, small businesses drowned under rising debt. Families were pushed out of homes they once could afford. Yet during this same period, billionaire wealth increased at record speed. Corporate landlords bought single-family homes in bulk, while ordinary people were priced out entirely. Inequality reached the highest levels recorded in modern history. Through every crash, the same data repeats. The top 1% exit early while the bottom 90% hold on the longest. Debt rises dramatically before every collapse. Liquidity disappears exactly when regular people need it most. And after each recovery, the wealth gap widens to a new extreme instead of closing. Every so-called fix fails because the foundation of the system never changes. Reforms after 1929 created loopholes. Reforms after 2008 made banks bigger, not safer. Money printing after 2020 normalized a cycle where elites use crisis as an opportunity to accumulate even more power. After a century, the blueprint is impossible to deny. Step 1. Inflate optimism using cheap money and rising asset prices. Step 2. Insiders quietly exit while the public keeps buying at the top. Step 3. The crash wipes out savings, resets prices, and forces panic selling from ordinary people. Step 4. Elites return with cash to acquire assets at generational discounts. This cycle is not random. It is predictable. It is repeated, and it is happening again right now. Your key lesson is simple. Crashes follow the same emotional and financial setup every time. The people who survive and win are those who stay liquid when everyone else is drowning in debt. And anyone who doesn't understand how debt, inflation, and market cycles work will be trapped in the same pattern that destroyed the last 3 generations. The world is already shifting into the next phase, and the warning signs are everywhere. You must decide whether you will be caught inside the cycle or break free by understanding it. If you want more deep explanations like this, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and share it with someone who needs to see the blueprint before it repeats.